The Tel Aviv Stock Exchange was also hit. This is a comprehensive target map of key strategic, economic, and scientific assets that are spread throughout the country. And Iran was able to hit them all. And they did so within just days of much of their top military leadership being wiped out. Pulling back a bit, it's clear now that it's our arsenals that have been bled dry. And it is amazing that it's only now that policymakers and industry leaders are realizing what all those Chinese export bans on rare earth metals and magnets add up to. It means that the Pentagon and the NATO countries cannot build weapons. It doesn't matter what the Pentagon's budget is, or that Europe just agreed to devote 5% of their GDP to new defense spending. Without Chinese antimony, nobody can make artillery or bombs. Without Chinese gallium, nobody can build radars or AWACS planes. Without Chinese germanium, no more military satellites or missile guidance systems. Without Chinese graphite, no more stealthy planes or submarines or high-performance fighter jets. Without Chinese tungsten, no more armored vehicles or armor-piercing munitions. Long way of saying that every artillery shell fired, every bomb dropped, every missile launched over Ukraine or the Middle East cannot be replaced. Same thing goes for everything used in our training exercises. And it's hard to know if this was their strategy in the beginning, but it's certainly the reality now. In diplomacy, leaders in countries not in Europe or North America are facing a different world too. Nothing is moving the needle in Ukraine after 3 years of intense diplomatic, economic, and military pressure. No country in the world is as lavishly supplied by the most modern equipment than Israel, who has a blank check to spend in Washington and a call on our most advanced gear. But it's become clear that Israel is no longer the dominant military force in the Middle East. That myth blew up along with the Mossad base on Larry Johnson's map. So for countries in South America or Africa or elsewhere here in Asia, they're coming to some hard conclusions that if the Western military umbrella doesn't work over Eastern Europe or Israel, the question is asked and answered how effective it could be anywhere else. In global trade, business, and economics, everything's going the same way. Russian oil and gas continues to flow despite heavy Western sanctions. Iranian oil exports last year were the highest in almost 50 years, despite heavy Western sanctions. China's semiconductor industry is stronger than ever, despite heavy Western sanctions. Business executives and owners in companies large and small realize now that all of our supply chains run through the BRICS countries. Almost all the world's new emerging class of consumers are also in those countries. And if we hope our companies survive, we need access to those supply chains, and we need plans to reach those consumers. And when firms shop for raw materials from BRICS countries or manufactured products from China, we have no choice but to agree to whatever payment terms they insist on. We will go through banks in Hong Kong instead of banks in New York or London. We won't notice much of a difference going through the new BRICS trading system instead of using SWIFT banks, and that is just the way business will be done from now on. Even for families across the world, everything is different today compared to the day before yesterday. A middle-class South American or African family with a couple of kids at home, they may have planned to save up $1 jillion so they can head off to Harvard or Stanford one day and thereby ensure the success of that family over the next generation. But we should forget about that too. Our universities are plunging in the rankings, so it's much more likely that they'll keep their money and their kids closer to home and just tell them to be super nice to anyone they see in class who looks Asian. This is Jinan Shandong. Be good.